Good morning, at-home learners. I'm going to switch things up a little bit in Schoology, but I will send a message so you guys understand what is up. So, going to current folder every day, you will see, slowly but surely, I switched it to weeks. So we are week 2, and when you go into week 2, you'll see attendance for this week, our to-do list, and our daily sketches. So when I go to attendance, you will go to today, Thursday, no matter what, if you are at school or at home, so the 17th, and complete your attendance. You then go to the to-do list. Now remember, if things not in the to-do list are not working, the links, everything is in Schoology, so you should still be able to access what is on the to-do list, maybe just not by clicking the to-do list. And then we will go to our daily sketches. Okay, so you should attendance, to-do list, write in planner, and then we would start with the basics today. All right, so yesterday we went over symbols. What Wednesday? If you were home, you learned about symbols. You watched a video on a British artist who drew every single thing in his grandfather's shed, or he's working on it, which is really cool. Like, what a way to symbolize somebody's life. Today we are going to take the stuff that we have been learning, and we are going to start talking about our first project. So the basics for a plan. Every single project we do in art class is we create a plan for it. We kind of talked about this at the beginning of the year, or the beginning of the try, where usually sports or athletes don't just go play games, they practice. Musicians don't just play a concert, they practice. Scientists hypothesize, they come up with an idea, and then they experiment, and then they see if they were right. So artists plan. They practice out what they want their final product to look like. So in art class, we do the same. The basics of a plan. So it's based on expectations of our sketchbook cover assignment, and all 4 of our previous sketchbooks are going to come into the cover of our sketchbook. So how this works, let me grab my sketchbook. We are creating the idea or the plan for what we want our whole cover to look like. Okay? Now, you're going to do this in your sketchbook. So, you're going to find your next page, and you're going to label it sketchbook number 5 or SB5, however you're labeling them, and you're going to write cover plan. Okay? Now, you have 2 choices for your cover this year. So, I'm going to go in here, back to the basics here. Sorry, is it slowly learning? Okay, so here I will go to the plan, sketchbook folder cover design. In this page, you are going to see the slideshow on what you can do. All right, you've got 2 choices for this whole cover. Is it just front or back? It's the whole thing. All right, choice 1 is on the left-hand side of the screen, and that is a symmetrical name design. Choice 2 is on the right-hand cover of the screen, and that is what we like to call a falling name design. So you have 2 choices. This slideshow will talk to you about what we're creating. We are creating a functional work of art. A sketchbook is functional. It's usable. The word functional is really important. It's an art word you need to know. And it's going to express who you are. This is a project that helps you learn about perspective, the way that you see things. Okay? Negative space, symmetry, pattern, color, and more. And you're going to emphasize a symbol and font design. Okay? Now, what does emphasize means? It means like when I look at your folder, that's the emphasis, that's the bang, that's the big part. Okay? So you're going to have at least one of your symbols in here and a font design, typographical art design. Okay? Now, 2 options, like I said. On the left is a symmetrical name design. That silly looking cow is actually a name. If you turn it sideways and really look hard, it's a student's name. Option 2 is a falling name design, where you get to create a design where your name is literally falling. It's repeating multiple times and falling to the bottom of the page where it's written really large at the bottom. Okay, your learning target, I can complete a sketchbook cover design that represents who I am using my name, repetition, symbols, and other characteristics in a final work of art. Again, this is just the plan, okay? So symmetrical design, what is a symmetrical design? It is balance. Symmetry is an approach that makes opposite sides of something the same. The picture here in the middle is an example of a student's symmetrical name design folder. That is their full folder. April was her name. You can kind of see, if you look down by the legs, you can see the A, P, you can see the R by the face, I, L. So April. Okay, look at how she used her background. Is there repetition? Is there pattern? Look at the rainbow. She used clovers because that was one of her symbols. Notice how she has the pot of gold, her coloring skills. I love this one. She did such a great job. Okay, you need to watch this video today if you are at home. It's on slide 5. This will literally show you step by step how to do this. You will need to take your paper out of your sketchbook if you're going to do this one. Okay, so remember the tabs are in the back. So remove a sheet of paper. You have to follow these instructions, okay? You need a pencil. You have to use a pencil. You will see that you will fold your paper in half, and you're going to write your name as big as you can, touching the center crease. Okay, I like to say trying to get it between, like literally you see how the name Shelly is touching the crease and almost touching the top. She filled up almost this whole section of the paper. That's what you need to do, okay? You're gonna darken it 2 to 3 times. You are then going to close it, and you are going to use the back of a Sharpie with the lid on. We're not coloring, we're using it as pressure. And you're going to rub, and it'll push it through to the other side and help you to create symmetry. It's not going to be super dark, so you're going to have to retrace around it. And then you're going to start adding in your fun embellishments, turning this into something crazy. I'll have more examples for you in here, and I also have a video on how to do this. Here are the steps. You can see how they started adding the embellishments. Now we have this crazy person, and then now we added color. Falling name is your second choice. These are also past students' work. So you're going to learn about perspective. You're going to create an illusion. Trompe l'oeil, it tricks the eye, using size and scale of letters and symbols to support the depth in your artwork, so small to large. So you can see that this particular student, she used her Converse. It was one of her symbols. And she chose to use not just her name, but other words that represent things in her life. She broke up her background into cool different shapes and filled in each one with a repetition, a pattern. The one in the middle kind of did the Christmas tree thing, super cool. And then Alice here on the right, notice she has music notes symbols. She has ballet, her ballet shoes. That was one of her symbols. Look at her name and how large it is at the bottom and how everything is falling into it. And she has a pattern in the background. So they all three achieved the goal. How to start. So you're going to start your first letter of your name at the top of the paper. Some people like to start at the bottom and do their whole name and then work up. However works best for your brain. You're going to use bubble or block letters. As you add, like you're going to go from small to large or from large to small. You can choose. Look at the cute little panda. You can repeat your name as many times as you'd like. You can add words that are important to you, things about you. You want to add a cool, elaborate background. The whole point of a plan is to literally create a map for what you're going to do for your final project. So then when you start on this cover next week, that you're like, oh, I know what I'm doing because I already planned it out. It's in my sketchbook. So artist's plan. So there's some examples in this slideshow for you. And here we are. Here's our plan. This is what it must include. Fonts and letters, color and pattern, demonstrate perspective or symmetry, negative space, emphasis, what would you want the viewer to observe, and your symbols. How are you using them? Where are you going to put them? So this is our plan. This is not due until next week. Monday, we're hopefully going to be starting on the actual cover. So your job today and tomorrow is to be really working on this plan and getting it ready. And we'll check in on Monday where everybody is. Have a great day, and I hope this makes sense. Bye, guys.